Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna make magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. Ain't notice she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the goat, talking about animation cause you know. Odie she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together to shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds here on episode 169 of 69. The Black and Snurdy 69. Podcast. 69. That's right, 169. Everybody is getting unsatisfied.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that way.
I mean, it
doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. It often is. It's just a mad dash to focus.
Yeah, but it's also like
focusing while stimulating while getting stimulated.
I feel like it's like if when done right, it's just like it's adding up to the moment of like when you're getting to the next portion of the show. So, you know, it can be a mixed bag depending on the situation. But how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? Well, I'm okay.
You're all right.
I'm all right.
I
could be better. I could be better. I got some shit that I gotta take care of tomorrow.
Yeah. It's always something.
Mad early.
Adulting.
Yeah, it sucks. Oh my goodness.
Sorry no. Check the audio.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually recently found that one of our episodes that we did, I think 162, did not have
audio. You can't hear anything?
No, you can hear. It's just coming from the laptop.
Oh.
Yeah.
So one of us am I more?
Yeah. So sorry about that.
Well, shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens, but we're good now. Everything is fine right now in this episode. But I gotta tell you, you know what editing is?
Yes.
A lot.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Well, I'm doing good. I just got my hair done.
Yes, it looks good.
Thank you.
It looks really good.
Thank you.
What made you go with that color?
Well, so a few things happened when I got to the braiding spot. I went to this new place. Never been there before. I looked up the reviews. They seemed really good. It's one of those 24-hour spots, which, no, I am, well, maybe not. I haven't talked about this maybe with you. I don't know. But notoriously, I've been very anti these 24-hour braiding salons because whenever I see them online, they just look like braiding farms. There's tons of people there. Everyone's doing hair. They're open 24 hours. So it's like, who knows how long people are possibly braiding for.
Sure.
And I feel like everything that I know about the braiding industry, because I mean, I've been getting braids since I was 5. My bonus mom, she had a braiding salon. So there's always various like exposés that come out every few years where it's like these people are being mistreated and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm always very mindful of that whenever I go get my hair braided, which is why like I don't mind paying the price for the braiding because it's a long time. I was in there for like
you were in there for the whole
day.
The whole day.
You don't go get your hair braided and not expect it to be there for the whole day.
Yeah. I texted my friend and was like, yeah, she went to go ahead and get her hair braided. And we were like, oh, you're not gonna see her until the end of the day.
Yeah, especially because I came in at 11. I made an appointment for 11, and I figured I'd probably be done around 6 or 7, which is true. But because of my worry about people being mistreated and being forced to braid for hours and hours on end, and I know like that takes a toll on your body, just standing up, the toll it takes on your hands. Like my bonus mom has carpal tunnel right now because of all of her years of braiding. So it's like when I go somewhere, I want to go, one, I want to make sure that they're getting paid properly and that it's not like something where they're just like being farmed out to do your hair. But I got there, everything was nice. There wasn't a lot of people getting their hair braided, which was nice. Even though it's a place where you could like walk in. And so everything was like, it was good. And the woman, Rose, shout out to you, Rose and Fatima, did my hair, did a great job.
Did a great job.
So I look forward to going back, and it wasn't far from the house. So,
when was the last time that you got your hair braided?
The last time I got my hair braided.
I guess I should rephrase the question. Do you remember the last time that you got your hair braided?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I went to this place. Well, last time I got hair braided, it was kind of a shit show because I was going to Germany for my cousin's wedding, and I had made an appointment with this woman on Fulton Ave in Brooklyn. And I get there after talking to her from the day before, the day of, etc., confirming things. Like I wanted a very simple style, just getting my hair braided up and getting a ponytail in the back, like something simple or whatever. And when I got there, she was starting somebody else's hair, which I knew was going to take forever and a day. And she was like, "Oh, I thought you canceled," blah, 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 which was bullshit. She just didn't want to have to do my hair because it was going to be a cheaper style than the other woman. So luckily there was a place across the street. Went there, they did a great job. So that was the last time. So that was probably like in August.
Okay.
I kept it in for a while, and then I've taken it out for the last few months. I've just been rocking my natural hair.
Au natural.
Which is fine. It's like do your hair when your hair is out. It's just you gotta always do something to it, and I just don't feel like it. And I love having braids, which is funny because when I was little, I hated having to do my hair. I hated having to go get braids. I felt it was very frustrating. It was very annoying being there all day long. People are pulling and tugging at your hair. I'm far less tender-headed now as an adult, but when I was a kid, it just felt like torture.
Yeah. When I went to drop off food at the hair place, I saw a little kid in there.
Yeah, but she was doing.
I don't know.
Really
She
well.
seemed like a champ.
Yeah, but
she
also,
seemed like she was preoccupied with whatever was in her hands. I didn't pay that much attention when I was in there because I was tunnel visioned. Yeah. Like today was a productive day. Yeah. Like I did errands
things that you wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went in there, I was just like, all right, this is the handoff.
The place actually,
and then I went back in there again for
the
second handoff.
But I think that it was I liked them because they did a good job and they weren't doing it too tight, which I really appreciate because I hate places that like are braiding your hair so tight because that's how you get tension alopecia and you get thinning hair. You don't need that. Just like braid the hair. It doesn't have to be super duper tight, but they did a good job. So I'm very happy with it. I like the color. When I went in there initially, I was thinking of getting either faux locks or kinky twist, but they didn't have the hair for the kinky twist or the faux locks, so I would have had to go and buy it, and I didn't want to do that. So the hair was included in if I wanted another style of braiding that they had. So I just got Senegalese twists, which is what these are. They had lots of different colors, which I appreciated because a lot of places when they carry the hair, they'll have like 3 or 4 colors, like the main ones, blonde, a black, a red, or whatever, maybe a mixture. But they had a lot of them, so I was appreciative of that. So yeah, they did a good job. I liked it.
Yeah, I think they did a good job too because it looks good.
Thank you very much.
Can't wait to see what I won't be there. But can't wait to hear about what the children say about it.
I'm sure they're going to have lots of thoughts. They're going to have lots of feelings. They always do whenever I come in with a new hairstyle.
Sure.
So yeah, they're going to be giving me, honestly,
the business.
I get my hair done for the kids because I don't want them to flame me. When I'm doing something, I'm like, what are they going to think it looks good? because they're going to have lots of opinions. They're going to tell me exactly how they're feeling, which I appreciate. And I feel like the honesty of children, we should all have that a little bit more sometimes. But yeah, otherwise, doing well. It's just the end of the week, getting off into the new week. We have 2 more weeks until Christmas break, which I'm very excited about.
You're very excited. You're very excited about Christmas break.
Yeah, because I don't have to go to work for 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sleeping and relaxing and getting my head together for the next start of the school year. So
sure,
it's gonna be good. Are you ready to jump into the episode?
Yes, let us jump into the episode. As always, we start things off on a bit of a somber note.
Pause. It's not somber. I have said this to you 1,000,001 times. Do not frame it as somber.
Okay.
We're honoring those who left. So we are taking time to honor those who have left this plane.
Okay, then. So we are starting things off on a.
You don't have to even say a note.
Jubilant note.
No, you don't have to say any of those things. We're
starting things off on a note.
We're starting things off by honoring those who have left this. Join the ancestors. Whatever you want to say. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Let's go. Well, you say the thing, and then say the
yes.
thing,
This is our RIP section. In memoriam for those who have journeyed onward to the sky.
All right, we're gonna edit a lot of this front part out.
We
are a collective.
It's the royal we, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. This is our RIP section. So where are we starting?
All right. So we've lost a lot of great people this week. The first person that we want to discuss is someone who was integral in integrating schools in the United States, Jo Ann Allen Boyce. She was a part of the Clinton 12 who helped to integrate one of the first public schools in the South. She died on Wednesday at 84 years old of pancreatic cancer, according to her daughter, Camelin Young. And she's one of those people who, we didn't really learn so much about her in schools. I would say I didn't learn about her until much later in life. But we know that integration was not that long ago, and some of these people who are still around, who have are passing away recently, but their stories are still extremely important because the history is not so far back. At 84, she was an older woman, but we know that there's so many things that she was able to see and do in this life. So we just have to thank her for everything she did. She wrote a book about her experiences, which helped to bring that to the masses. So thank you for all that you did, Miss Boyce. You helped to really change American history. And so we can not say thank you. Someone else who was a history maker, Mr. Charles Shay. He was 101 when he passed away, and he was a decorated veteran. He was also one of the Native Americans who helped in the war, and he landed in Omaha Beach on D-Day, helping to save so many lives. 101. I mean, that's just such a long life.
That's such a long life to live.
Yeah, so many things he's seen and experienced. He was a part of I hope I'm saying this correctly, the Penobscot tribe from Indian Island in the state of Maine. He was awarded the Silver Star for repeatedly plunging into the sea and carrying critically wounded soldiers to safety to save them from drowning. And
What a
he
hero.
also received France's highest award, the Legion of Honor, in 2007. And he'd been living in France since 2018. So I think, men like him, people like him who fought for this country and helped to not only just save lives, but really change the course of history are so important. And we are losing them now because of their age. 101 is like being a century plus old.
Yeah.
It's not something to take lightly. All the things that he saw, the things that he did. So we are honoring him as an honorable ancestor who has moved on to the next plane of existence. Also, someone who was who's been extremely pivotal in teaching Americans about their history that they may not have known, but a true hero, even though they haven't been recognized as such until recently. Viola Ford Fletcher passed away at 111 years old. She was one of the few people who survived the Tulsa Race Massacre that happened in 1921, which has only recently been getting kind of acknowledgement in media. You've seen it. It's been played out in movies and TV. We've been talking about it because of the fact that she had been working so hard along with other survivors to try and get any sort of reparations for the families who were impacted by the massacre. If you don't know, in 1921 in Tulsa, a mob of white people came through, killed so many people. They burned the town down. And Tulsa at the time was considered like the Black Wall Street of its day. And it was just completely demolished. And so many of the people, if they did survive, were scattered throughout the country. And she was fighting to get Tulsa recognized. And the people recognized. So she lived an extremely long life. She was able to finally get her flowers later on in life. But it's just sad that she's left this world without getting her goal accomplished. But we are here to continue on her legacy. There's still so many people who are fighting for what she was fighting for. And it's really important. I mean, these are parts of American history that that people don't want to talk about. They want to be erased from history, but it happened, and there are still the fact that there are still people alive who experienced these kind of atrocities, and we're fighting for them literally until their dying day, is really important.
Right. I'm trying to remember the name of the show that was on HBO. Lovecraft Country.
They talked about it in Lovecraft Country because Michael K. Williams, his character had been a survivor.
Yes.
Of
Lovecraft
the
Country.
Tulsa Massacre. And in his story, it talks about how that impacted his life and the trauma from it and all the things that he dealt with because of the massacre. And it's only been in the last maybe decade or so where people have been actually talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember when I was younger, I don't know if you ever saw the HBO movie Rosewood.
Yes.
And that was another
with Ving Rhames.
With Ving Rhames, yes. So that was another Black community that was destroyed in Rosewood, Florida. Mm-hmm. And so we got tiny little pieces, but it took so long after these events occurred for anyone to pay attention and talk about it. But these stories, they don't die. They are important for us to talk about. And
it's on Tubi.
You just hope that at some point the people will get some kind of reparations and apology, at least from what happened.
Yeah.
Next, we want to talk about someone who was huge in the film industry and someone who you've probably seen in movies and TV shows throughout your life. His name is Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa.
Mm-hmm.
And one is so he was, of course, he was in the Mortal Kombat movie. He was in Man in High Castle, but one movie that I always remember him from is Johnny Tsunami on the Disney Channel.
He was in
He was his
Johnny
grandpa.
Tsunami. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was in, honestly, like, such a iconic actor.
Mm-hmm.
And so he passed away at 75 years old in Santa Barbara, California. And it's just, it's sad that we lost him. Such a great actor, so recognizable. You've probably seen him in things, whether you remembered it was him or not. But he opened so many doors for Asian actors, and brought that representation that was so needed and wanted and desired. So we are thanking him for all the things that he brought to our big silver screen, our televisions, and hopefully that people will continue living out the legacy that he brought forward.
Your soul is mine. Sorry, that from Mortal Kombat.
I know, from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Lastly, this one was really shocking. In the anime world, we lost a cosplayer, unfortunately, at their own hand. But I don't know if you've ever seen this cosplayer. Her name was Ashley, but she went by Squidkid. And she was a very popular cosplayer, and she passed away at only 19 years old a few weeks ago. And there's not 100% one reason why, but it has been discussed that apparently she had been dealing with a lot of racist comments from anime fans and the cosplay community, and that caused her to take her own life. And it has been opening up a lot of different conversations within the anime and cosplay community about who's allowed to be there, the kind of negative vitriol and the anti-blackness, etc., that comes out. Which is, if you watch anime, if you ever heard of the term anime, this is something that shouldn't necessarily be surprising to you, that there is racism and anti-blackness within the community, because we see it anytime there's someone who's darker than a paper bag that gets cast in a show.
For a long time, we saw it in anime.
Exactly.
I mean, go back and watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And then talk to me about Mr. Popo. Or the one of the henchmen from the Red Ribbon Army. I forget his name. Either way, they used to do a lot. Or Pokemon with Jinx. They literally had to change her skin color from black to purple, but they still kept the big red lips. Anyhow, sorry.
I mean,
continue.
It's one of those things that is rife within the community that people have been talking about for years. Unfortunately, they're the latest casualty of this racism. But we just want to lift their family up. I mean, 19 years old is so young, and so impressionable, and being someone who has any kind of platform, getting all of that negativity and vitriol for something that you enjoy and love on a constant basis, it does play a part in your mental health. But we have to remind people, if you're feeling like things are just terrible, if you are thinking that like you need to end it all, please reach out to someone, seek help, call a hotline, because there are going to be people there to support you. And to the anime community, just do better, because we are better when we are enjoying these mediums, having fun, and not allowing negativity to just run rampant and cause devastating things like this. So
agreed. I did want to throw on one more RIP. The sort of indie or what have you comedy community has lost a comedian by the name of Tiana Miller. And I knew her personally for a few years, and I'm not sure. I found this out today, and I do not know what happened. I'm not sure how she passed or the circumstances or anything like that, but I do remember her in her sort of dark sardonic wit. She really was a really cool individual to know. And it saddens me to find out that she has passed. Like, she brought so many people, like, so many laughs and smiles, and she will be missed. So I did want to make sure I pay my respects to her. I met with her, I hung out with her. She was a very cool person to know, and anybody who knows her, I send my condolences to y'all. Okay, so that has been our RIP section.
Are you ready to get into the shenanigans and chicanery of the week?
Boy, am I.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics. All right, where do you want to start?
All right, well, let's do some quick updates.
Sure.
Because we have something bigger we're going to talk about.
Yes.
It's probably going to take us a majority of the episode.
Sure.
So number one, Meg the Stallion has won her defamation suit against blogger Malago Graham. So a federal jury has sided with Meg the Stallion, saying that the Milagro Grams, who's a blogger and a rapper, defamed and harassed the rapper. And so she's going to have to pay out. They haven't given us the exact amount, but it'll be less than six figures. So probably close to that.
Milagro.
Initially, the jurors awarded Megan Thee Stallion $75,000. And then the U.S. District Judge Cecilia M. Altonga reduced it to $59,000 in her final ruling on Tuesday. She said, "We're thankful for the jury's commitment to reinforcing the importance of truth, accountability, and responsible commentary on social media." I'm sorry. The judge didn't say that. Meg Thee Stallion's lawyer said that. She said, "Not only is Malago being held accountable for paying Megan compensatory and punitive damages, but Florida's fee-shifting legal provision will require her to cover costs of Megan's legal bills on the deep fake claim. The verdict sends a clear message that spreading dangerous misinformation carries significant consequences."
It does.
I'm happy for her.
Yeah,
because
I'm happy for her too.
People have literally been lambasting Meg Thee Stallion ever since that troll Tory Lanez attacked her. And she had to deal with all these people who were lying on her, calling her a liar, saying she faked it, saying it was all these other reasons, trying to put any other reason out there besides Tory Lanez just being an asshole and a jerk and abusive. So it's good. And people, please, will learn to shut up. Okay? Shut up. You don't need to always have a commentary on something. Even as a social media influencer or a blogger, You just have to remember that like your words have consequences.
Or stick to the facts. Like you can, in our society, we unfortunately listen to people on social media and talking heads, and we listen to these opinions that are being spread, and everybody is quick to have a hot take. When in doubt, just stick to the facts.
Yeah.
Or
that's it.
Shut your mouth.
If you stick to the facts,
or just don't say anything.
If you stick to the facts of something, like obviously, even though I would love it if every single person who's blogging and vlogging and being an influencer or whatever went to J school and podcasting, they went to J school, they learned the ethics of journalism, when to and when not to say something about a person, etc. That'd be amazing. But that is just not the case, right? So just a little quick, tiny tidbit. You don't got to spend thousands of dollars on student loans to learn. Look for the facts. If someone tells you something, verify it with someone else. If you can't verify it, don't say it.
Check your sources.
And at the very least, you could say allegedly. It allegedly happened.
Yeah.
And then if someone...
Allegedly is your friend.
And also, if someone comes to you and says, hey, even though you said that thing allegedly happened, I don't like that. Take it down or I'm going to sue you. Just take it down. Now, sometimes, of course, people might use that as a way of trying to scare you off from information. But most of the time, if you can say, if someone's saying something happened, you generally can verify it at some way, somehow. You got to dig into it. You got to go researching. You got to call people. You got to do a lot of groundwork. But that is so much better than having to pay someone out your pocket and pay for them and also their legal fees because you decided you wanted to cape for the wrong person.
Yeah.
So,
and now you're out $59,000.
$59 plus whatever her legal fees are. So honestly, she only has to pay Meg the Stallion $59,000, but I'm sure once you collect the legal fees, it'll probably be around the 6-figure mark.
Yeah.
And who wants to lose that money?
That's a lot of money.
For someone like Tory Lanez?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even have any money to give you back to, like, help you recoup something for caping for him.
Tory Lane's more like Tory Lanez.
Yep. The next update we had, real quick, we talked about the singer David D4VD a few weeks ago because people were looking at him kind of shady because of Tesla that he had rented out had the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, which was discovered on September 8th. And so the last few months, people have been really going through everything this man has ever done to see, like, why was her body there? What was your involvement? Were y'all in a relationship? Because I believe he's 20, she's 15, and allegedly they had been in some sort of romantic relationship for a few years. And so now he's finally being considered a suspect in her death. Which the whole thing's really sad. It's really terrible. The fact that this 15-year-old was murdered and dismembered and left in a car, like, it's crazy and disgusting. We hope that her family is doing okay. This is not something that's going to be easy. He's obviously not running to tell the truth about what happened. So it's going to be lots of months or longer of a trial and investigating, etc., before they find out the truth, and hopefully they find out the truth. But it's just crazy. And honestly, I'd never heard of the singer before this whole situation happened. And he had been in tour with people. One of them, I think, was it Cary-Hiroyuki's? He had been having
he had a song on Invincible, I believe. Yeah.
The TV show.
Yeah, the TV show, yeah.
Well, his most popular songs were Romantic Homicide, Here With Me, and Feel It. I'd never heard any of these songs. But the one that was really getting popular, unfortunately, after this whole news broke out, was Romantic Homicide, because people were saying that allegedly he mentions key things about her, and maybe it was it posted on her birthday or something like that.
Something I don't.
So there was a
remember.
lot of speculation about how that song was related to her death. But either way, it just sucks. It's a terrible situation. But the Los Angeles medical examiner is hoping that they're able to find her cause of death soon, because you need the cause of death to really help you be able to make an arrest and determine any charges.
David was Google's top trending musician in 2025
because of the investment.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that doesn't surprise me. I remember when everything came out about him possibly being involved in the death, his streams were going up, and people were like, "Oh, we love this song,"
because they wanted to figure out who this person was.
Well, that part, there was some of that, but then also some of it was people just wanted to listen to the music.
Well, to figure out who this person is.
No, but also like there were people who knew who he was, but were streaming it because they were talking about, he can't be a part of this because I love that song Romantic Homicide, and we're like, do the thing they do anytime.
But there were also people who were trying to figure out clues in the music. You know what I mean?
And it was all the things. The same way R. Kelly's music has gone up. Diddy, his music has gone up in some cases. And speaking of Diddy, we just watched The Reckoning.
Oh, you know what? You know what we could do? We haven't done this in a while.
Watch out now.
Yes. It is a quick watch out. Not a quick.
No, it's a one. We don't know how quick it's going to be.
We have no idea what the length of this is going to be, but it's going to be a watch out now for the Sean Combs, The Reckoning, Netflix documentary 4-part series, 4-part documentary on P. Diddy, Sean Combs.
Yeah. So the movie or the documentary
brought to us by 50 Cent.
Just
many men wish death upon me. I know one person who wishes death upon you.
We know one person. Allegedly, Diddy sent
a C&D.
No. He sent some flowers. Oh.
Yeah. Many men, many men wish death upon me. God, I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on my soul. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men. Many men wish death upon me. Okay.
So,
we watched this doc together.
Yeah, it was a 4-part docuseries. Sean Combs, The Reckoning. It was directed by Alex Stapleton and executive produced by 50 Cent.
Yes.
Who is the pettiest person you will ever meet in your whole entire life.
Yes.
Because he has been beefing with Diddy for years. It's alleged that the reason the beef started was because when 50 Cent was coming up and getting really popular and all that, apparently Diddy connected with him at a party. They were at Chris Light's wedding, and Diddy says to him like, "Oh, we should go shopping." And he took offense to that because he thought it was weird.
You mean Chris Lighty?
Chris Lighty, yes.
Yeah.
R.I.P. He said they took offense to that. It's kind of been up since then, and so
I have different information.
Okay.
I heard allegedly that Diddy either tried to or did successfully sleep with 50's baby mama.
Yes, that also happened.
Oh, okay. So
that
it did
also
happen.
happened.
Okay, cool. I mean, not cool because look what happens.
I mean, so the 4-part series, it covered so many people across Diddy's life that have known him. I'm going to go through real quick and tell you all the people that appeared. Eric Sermon, the rapper from EPMD. Kirk Burrows, who's the Bad Boy co-founder. Greg Kading, who's a retired LAPD detective.
Of course, you got to get a detective in there at some point.
D1, who was a former Mansfield Crip member. William Lassane, the cousin of Tupac. Derek Parker, NYPD. Mark Curry from a former Bad Boy artist.
Yeah.
Albie Shore from Uptown Records, and also the ex of Kim Porter, who is the mother of several of Sean Combs' children.
And the owner of the baddest unibrow from the 90s.
Yes, you did have one of those.
I'll tell you how I feel about that unibrow every night and day.
Roxanne Johnson, who's Craig Mack's ex-wife, R.I.P. to Craig Mack.
Rest in peace.
Audrey O'Day from Danity Kane. Kalina Harper from Dirty Money. Clayton Howard, who's a former sex worker. Brooklyn Babs, aka Babs Chula, aka Brooklyn Babs from making the band. Several members of Day 26, Brian Andrews, Willie Taylor, Robert Curry, Quinnell Q Mosley.
That was a quick one.
Yeah, that was very quick.
They weren't in it that long,
which they should have been longer. Joy Dickerson Neal, who worked with Diddy in the 90s and accused him of SAing her. Capricorn Clark, his former assistant, and I believe she was the head of global at Bad Boy at some point.
When was Capricorn born?
I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
Yeah,
She's a Capricorn.
That's what I want to know. Like
Capricorn Clark, she might be. I would hope that if they named her Capricorn, that her birthday is in Capricorn season.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, and we can keep going. I'm just trying to.
Roger Bonds, who was in Diddy's inner circle, and then the jurors from the Combs trial, juror 75, the Indian man, the older Indian man, and then juror 160, who is a young woman who alleges she did not ever like Diddy. And then Rodney Little Rod Jones, who was a producer on Diddy's album Love the album. So those are all the people who were talking. One person we did not get, who I feel like we needed, and I hope if there's a part 2 we get, Farnsworth Bentley.
They don't disclose it.
We don't know. Okay.
We don't know.
But, we never get Farnsworth Bentley, who we need. We need him.
Farnsworth must be in hiding at this point. I think he must have gotten paid a lot of money.
He probably
to
has an
stay
NDA.
the fuck away from everything.
I think he has an NDA because many Bad Boy people, associates or workers or whatever, signed NDAs that probably are not up yet. Because even I remember when Audrey O'Day, when it was like when a few years ago when the Love album was coming out, when Diddy was like, I'm going to give everybody back their masters, and she came out and said no, because he wanted to make them sign NDAs and they couldn't disparage him, anyone in his camp, etc., and Bad Boy. And she said no. So you think there's probably other people who also were told that and they signed it, because plenty of people got their stuff back.
My only question, and it's a simple question. I just want to know, was he holding the umbrella during the freak offs?
Probably. Who knows?
To like make sure that the baby oil got where it needed to go and just fly out, squirt up.
Ew, gross.
in the air and hit him or anything like that. Hit his Aniche shirt.
What are some of the things that you thought were the craziest about?
Okay, so
because we might have the same. So we've
talked about Diddy a lot. Well, not even a lot. We were waiting for the trial to be done to talk about it. But we've mentioned things here and there.
Yeah.
So one thing that I found illuminating from this, I didn't know that it was confirmed that Cassie and Kid Cudi were seeing each other.
Okay.
Like I thought it was just a
rumor,
like a speculation, like a jealous sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're spending time with Cassie, I'm gonna blow up your car.
Yeah.
But this documentary kind of insinuates that they were a thing and Cassie was cheating on Diddy with Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna cheat on Diddy with somebody,
and
Kid
also,
Cudi's
he
okay.
was cheating on her every second he got, so it was like, why does it matter? But
I mean, it's a power thing, obviously.
yeah, of course.
He's a
sociopath.
Like they say it in the documentary, Diddy can cheat on you. You can't cheat on Diddy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. That's crazy shit. But the thing that I thought was crazy was that he kidnapped Capricorn in order to go find Kid Cudi so that he could
I'm just glad that Kid Cudi and Cassie weren't there. Because if they were there, I think things would have turned out very differently.
Yeah.
Because we already know how
that motherfucker would have been the man on the moon. Kid Cudi's album.
We already know how he responded to Cassie just being with him and without even really knowing, and how he beat her up. So I think that if he had caught them there, it would have been a terrible situation.
Yeah, it would have been terrible.
Even more terrible than it was.
Yeah.
All right. So Cassie's and Kid Cudi's relationship. What else? What are two other things?
So I think it's crazy that on Biggie Smalls' death day, the anniversary of the day that he died, Diddy has been throwing freak offs.
Yeah, that's really
specifically like with this one male sex worker.
Yeah.
And Cassie, like the whole description of what was going on with the one sex worker was stuff. It was graphic.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
And they were drugging him at one point, and it was, like it was just a lot. But like the fact that they were doing it on like I forget the day, but every that anniversary, he'd call him up, fly him out. We're gonna have marathon, which also shocking. Just days worth of sex.
Well, they were on drugs.
I know that ecstasy and MDMA and all that other stuff,
whatever,
like
the GHB or
the
whatever.
GHB, like my stomach hurts, and it honestly, the thought of having that kind of sexual momentum gives me like diarrhea.
It wasn't real momentum. It was drug induced.
It was drug induced. I know it was drug induced, but like that just seems like, what does it seem like? Damn it. Wrong thing. It seems like a lot. I don't have the drop ready. So there we go.
All right. What's your third one?
My third one, that apparently his son was at the freak offs too.
Yeah, that's gross.
That's gross. That like I am all for family bonding, but not at the freak offs. That's disgusting. That's I shudder to think about just the kind of I would say that I'm at a loss for words, but honestly, you know what it was? A lot. It just was a lot. I'm gonna get mileage out of this drop. Okay, so be prepared. This is now my new favorite thing.
It's always your drops are always your favorite thing.
My drops are a lot. So
all right. The three things that
what are the three things
that I think were most shocking? Everything that the sex worker brought up.
Yeah,
that was a lot. It was just
a lot.
It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous amount of things.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you keeping this man's semen?
That's crazy.
There were things that were.
He said that they were keeping his semen,
and in the court document or whatever, people had been alleging that Diddy had been making Cassie use semen for various things.
Oh yeah, to like.
It was just gross. It was a lot.
Drink
it
into
was too much. It was just ridiculous. It was a ridiculous, disgusting affair. So that definitely was shocking. When Kirk Burrows said that he saw Diddy smack his mother, that was shocking.
Right.
That was really shocking to me because it's like we know all the other things, but I think everything that they talked about in regards to his mother was shocking because it's like we talk about this abuse that she had been allegedly petering out to him from a child, and then once he got to adulthood, he gave it back to her.
I actually don't see that as shocking.
It's not surprising, but I was shocked. I'm not surprised by it.
I think that if allegedly, because they asked for comment and she did not comment on anything.
She didn't comment in the documentary, but she did respond to the claims about her being a abusive parent. And she wrote in a statement that I'm writing the statement to correct some of the lies presented in the Netflix Sean Combs The Reckoning, released on December 2nd, 2025. These inaccuracies regarding my son Sean's upbringing and family life is intentionally done to mislead viewers and further harm our reputation. In the documentary, I am portrayed as an abusive parent. This is untrue. As I have stated previously, I was a single mother raising my son. I held 3 and even 4 jobs in an attempt to provide a comfortable upbringing and quality education for my child. I raised Sean with love and hard work, not abuse. But you could feel like it wasn't abuse. But I don't think that Sean Combs comes to who he is now without having some kind of traumatic experience. And this is doesn't mean it's not an excuse for his behavior.
I just think that I don't believe that there was no abuse just because generationally that's what was going on back then.
Especially when you think about even today, when you see single moms, they'll be talking about like, oh, I gotta toughen him up and I gotta make him a man, da da da. So like back then, that was even more push. And when they talk about Sean Combs, everything they talk about is like, yes, he was in Mount Vernon, but he was living a middle class life, going to private school. He came to Howard. He was a dweeb. He came out. He wanted to work in music, and they had to like basically force feed him how to be like cool. So you think of,
they show photos of him.
He was a dweeb,
and he was, I would say that he is a bit of a blurred.
Not even a blurred. He was a dork. There's a difference between being a nerd and being a dork. Because nerds can be cool. Dorks are like weird and annoying.
Fine.
And nothing going on about them.
He was a blork.
Like, yes, he was a blork.
Yeah, he was a blork. Diddy was a blork.
But I think that I
think that'll be the title.
Even the way that Kirk describes their upbringing of like the moms having these parties all the time, they're calling them out to dance. They're allowed to be in these parties. It's late at night, et cetera, and who knows what things were happening at these parties? It's the 70s, 80s. Probably a lot of crazy shit that kids shouldn't be seeing. But she had him there, and then she's raising him on her own, if she was raising him in the image of like, oh, your dad was this like really cool gangster that died in this tragic way, even though there was a reporter who did an article on Diddy's father some years ago, and she said within her research and in her reporting, nobody ever talked about Diddy's dad as if he was this like huge kingpin. The article, you could find it online now. It was originally in the 2010 print issue, and it's called The Mystery of Puff's Daddy.
Nice.
And so yesterday I initially saw her post because she was talking about how she had worked on this story about Diddy and his father, and how she had been looking for it, but basically she couldn't find it online, and there were all these people that came together who have like worked at Vibe, etc., who were managed to find it. But she just, nothing that she found out seemed to corroborate this story that he was this kingpin, and that he kind of was just like a cool guy. People liked him. He dressed nice. He was cool. He threw parties. Like he was a hype man, like any kind of like a promoter, if you will.
Mhm.
And when she talked to the kingpins of that era, they never said anything about him being this like drug guy, and that even when they talk about him being a snitch, that didn't seem likely, but that even the talk about him possibly being a snitch is probably what got him killed. So if his mother is trying to force this narrative and push this narrative onto her son of like, this is the type of man you need to be, she probably would do anything to do that. And a number one reason why I could not believe anything that she says, those wigs. The wigs were consistently terrible.
Folks, where's the lie?
I don't know how you have a child with that much money who's flying you out everywhere, paying for all your clothes, doing all these things, and you're still wearing 99 cents.
I mean, we're still talking about Diddy. He didn't pay his artists. So what makes you think he's going to pay his mom?
I mean, he may not have been paying for her, but I'm sure he was buying her clothing.
They even made it a point to be like Diddy had the kind of psychology whe liked people coming to him wanting from him, or
I'm sure.
he liked having people constantly in this nebulous void of not knowing if they're going to get paid or get their money or get their residuals or what have you. So it makes sense. Just like it makes sense that he would smack up his mom, it makes sense that he wouldn't give her money for a wig.
They were just terrible. There's terrible wigs. And also, like, she has not at one point in this course of this trial, or in any trial that he's had lots of trials throughout his whole life that he's been famous. She's never once had wanted to hold him to the fire and say, like, show accountability. You did this thing wrong. So why do I think you would take accountability for the possibility of you creating a monster? Because this is the child you created. There's plenty of times I could say, parents do their best. You never know how a child's going to come out. There's so many different factors. But I 100% believe you created the monster that we are dealing with and people have been impacted by over the course of these 3 decades. And it's your fault. So that was my second one. The third one, I think for me, is Audrey O'Day. When she talks about how... this is years after she's out of Danny Kane. She already was like distanced herself away from Diddy and all that. But when the trial, everything was coming about, when somebody basically wrote out that in a statement that they had seen her being assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
She has no recollection of this. And in the documentary, she's basically like, you know, are you telling me this because you think it's going to be helpful, or because you're just trying to rinse your guilty conscience off? And I think one thing for me within this whole documentary is, as much as I really feel for the people that were talking, and a lot of them, you know, they experienced such terrible things, whether it was financial abuse, physical abuse, SAing. There were a lot of them who were witnessing the things that he did and weren't doing anything to stop it. There's a small group of the people in this documentary that had things happen to them, and they were just like kind of collateral damage to the things that everybody else was allowing. And it's hard because even someone like when Kirk Burroughs, at the end of the documentary, spoiler, he talks about how he had been being essayed by Diddy. And so we know that there were a lot of things that were being held over people's heads. But some of the folks, it was like, you know, Capricorn basically is like, well, we were trying to feed the good part of him, and the other people were trying to feed the negative part. But at the end of the day, you were still feeding him. You know? And so she
said that she kept her mouth shut for the culture.
For the culture. And like, but you did that for the culture, and we see what happened. Eventually you got burned.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the part where in our community, we see so many people who are like doing these terrible things. Someone calls them out about it, and then people will be like, we don't want to tear him down. We want to just lift him up because we don't have this many people who are doing these type of things. But this is why when someone shows you that they're crazy and terrible, we have to just nip it in the bud then. You can't be loyal to these people. Like in some of these instances, yes, I could understand why Kirk was not jumping to say, like, look at what he did, because Diddy did really have him in a terrible position.
Had him over a barrel.
Yeah, like he was over him financially. He was probably going to threaten to out him in the abuse, but in a negative.
Literally stole shares from him.
Yeah,
like he came 25%. Up and he stole 25%. He's like, give me these 25% now.
With a bat in
a bat in his hand.
What are you gonna do? And like, I think that for some of the people like Kirk, who saw how dangerous Diddy was, I can completely understand how he just was like, nah, I just gotta listen, because I know wherever Diddy goes, death follows. But some of the other folks, it was kind of like, you just wanted to be a part of this world, and you were concerned about the money. You weren't concerned about other things that he was doing to other people. And it wasn't until he turned around and bit you that you're like, oh shit, you know? And I feel like that's something that happens a lot. And it's a lot. And it's something that we really need to think about, like just as a general culture of why we allow people to do things just because they have money. I mean, look at our president. We look at what he's been allowed to do and what people have voted him in twice to do because he has a lot of money, and they are under this belief that if they continue voting for him, that one day they're going to get to his level, you know? But it was interesting to see how some people were very much like, fuck Diddy. Like, what's his name from Mark Sermon?
Yeah.
And,
Mark Curry.
Mark Curry.
You got Mark Curry and Eric Sermon mixed up.
Yes, I did. Mark Sermon and Eric. Wait, what is it?
Eric Sermon.
Mark Curry and Eric Sermon.
Mark Curry.
We're very much like, this guy is a dweeb and he's not
They
talented.
shat on him
So
making
much.
music.
So much. But he wasn't he's never been a great artist. He's had other people on his music to make him better. Similarly, into the way that like Drake is not like he's had some good stuff, but a lot of his stuff that's good has come from other people helping him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like a similar thing where, you know, Diddy was this suburban kid who got into hip hop, and not only was he saw like how people were latching onto folks and praising them for their talent, so he latched onto them, and then he made them bigger, but then he wanted to be the star, which is crazy.
Mark Curry just straight up told him, well, not told him, but just says that he sucks. He sucks as a musical artist.
Yeah.
Like he came up with the one with the one song. Now. Did he do Hate Me Now? Or
yeah, 'cause that's the one with Godzilla.
Oh yes, you're right. And he was trying to tell him how to do it, and he was doing it differently.
It was like the classical version of a hip hop song.
This
is the thing. I recognize a lot of the people that I grew up with in Diddy, because being a Black kid in suburbia who's in private school, like you see so many Black kids, especially the boys, and specifically the boys, who felt like they could only get respect if they were seen as like a certain type of cool.
Sure.
And so for them,
I was that for a while too.
To be a certain type of cool meant you had to be like a gangster. You have to be like in the hood and da da da.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's just not who he was. He was a middle class kid who had all these opportunities afforded to him. Went to college, went to Howard, and got even more resources, and used those to then turn around and create terror and chaos. I mean, when they talk about the stampede in the 90s, now,
yes,
a lot of people were saying that they had never heard a lot of these things. Because I grew up here in New York, there were a lot of these things I had heard about. Like none of the things about him being violent with people, specifically like the men, the beating people up, shooting people, possibly having any sort of hand in people's deaths, that like Tupac, etc.
And we're talking about the 1991 City College stampede.
Yeah, like those things I had always heard about. People talked about, like it was always a key because he had so many legal situations in New York. Anytime one was brought up, all the rest of them were brought up. But I think a lot of people didn't realize how dangerous he was, because they just, for us people who are millennials, we were young when he was popular, and they just didn't realize all the crazy things that he'd been doing. But I think of like, I wonder how much like that first instance with the stampede, like all these crazy things happened, people got hurt, people died, and then he got off scot-free. And I wonder how much of that created who he was later on, to just feel like I'm invincible. Because even though when they were talking about when he created Bad Boy, how he didn't put it in his own name because he didn't want anyone to sue him.
Yeah.
And be able to take the money from him. And it's like, you even if you did it inadvertently, you should be held responsible for something that you caused, because you over promoted it, you hyped it up, you knew it had the potential of being this like crazy situation. You did nothing. Similarly to when Travis Scott had the Astro World concert and people died, and people were like, you may not have thought this was going to happen, but you should be held to account because of the fact that you were irresponsible. And I think that this is what happens when someone is never held accountable in their life. They think they can get away with anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's basically it. Like, he got away with a bunch of stuff.
And even with him,
I'm surprised that they didn't interview Shine.
But I wonder if
I'm sure he
that also
probably
wants
to put it. Is it an NDA, or does it like now he's like a representative?
Yeah, he's a politician in Panama.
Panama.
He got out of prison, went back home to Panama, got into politics, and
he probably just wants to put it behind him.
But I think there's also a lot to be said about the people who have NDAs. That's who I want. They need to do a Reckoning Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the people that you didn't talk to because they have NDAs and you can't talk to them because they just don't want to get sued by Diddy? Like, then there's so many people who are dead. that can't talk. Like
Biggie can't say nothing.
Tupac
Craig Mack
can't say
can't say
anything.
anything. Craig Mack can't say anything.
And even the people who aren't dead, Loon is off in some sort of religious cult.
Black Rob, I think, is also
Black Rob
dead.
is dead. I mean, there's so many people who are just not around to talk when you know that Diddy was doing some crazy things. And all these people were enabling him. Like, I think, yeah, of course, he needs to be put in prison. But so many of the people who were around him also need to be held accountable for the fact that they literally said nothing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's just
helped.
like, it's a lot like with R. Kelly. Like,
Yeah.
you don't become as powerful as Diddy is by yourself without a system of enablers to help you do all of these things.
Yeah, because even when they had, like, there was the white woman who is his, like, chief of staff or something like that, and they have her,
She was briefly mentioned.
saying like, oh, we just need to find people like to change the narrative and all this stuff. Like, when you are in that sort of space and you are more concerned about your paycheck, how much money I'm gonna get, how much notoriety I'm gonna get, but you don't care about people, it's sick. And I think this is one of those things where people are so apprehensive about folks joining Hollywood or the entertainment industry, because so many people literally do not care. They don't care as long as it's not happening to them, and as long, even if it is happening to them, they're getting a paycheck.
There's a lot of amorality happening.
Yeah.
Where people feel as though, like, oh, this is actually more complex. This is not black and white.
And we all have duality. No one's perfect. Sometimes you mess up.
Nobody's perfect.
And you, like, these things happen, and then you try to see both sides of a person. But at one point, do you say, like, this person seems to have a lot of sides that are negative, and we need to say no? Like, it's just, at a certain point, you have to change the narrative. And I think there is something to be said about, like, Andre Harrell and the people in that industry at that time. They created these kind of behaviors. I'm sure that Diddy, like, they said multiple times that Diddy learned a lot of his business tactics and how he moved because of Andre Harrell. We know that, like, the 360 deal is not new. It's something that's been happening in the music and entertainment industry for decades. So a lot of these people, they came out with these beliefs because they were things that they were done to them or they'd seen being done to other people. And so it's like, what do we have to do to stop it in its tracks and to do something different? And it's going to take more than just, like, one or two people getting arrested. It has to be a whole, like, industry-wide change, similarly to, like, the Me Too movement. Without that happening, you may not have people who are saying, you know, enough is enough. We need to do better. We need to change the way people are allowed to have so much power over others. But even then, it's like we're still lacking. We still have more to do. And it's kind of like comes down to people not being so obsessed with power and fame and money, you know, because look at the crazy things he's done. Like that man, Little Rod, who's saying, I'm waking up next to him sore and he's in my bed or some other woman's in my bed. I don't know who these people are. And I'm working on this album, missing my children's birthdays and Christmases and all that stuff just to not ever be paid.
Yeah, he still hasn't been paid to this day.
And all these terrible things were happening to you, but you were thinking that because you were gonna be a great producer and you were gonna be able to pay for things and have your children and grandchildren just generational wealth, that you should tolerate it, but it should never be tolerated. Someone's harming you, that's it. Like, you just have to cut it off, and you have to be able to sacrifice whatever you think was going to come from that so that you're not in the same situation and that person's not able to continue on. But I think it's also just difficult because he was so powerful. Even when they talked about the one story that I did not know about was when Suge Knight was talking about how his friend was murdered in front of him. and Diddy was basically the mastermind behind it. I had never heard of that story.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that either.
I will say, I came out with a newfound
respect for Suge Knight. Is that what you're about to say?
Kind of. I'm seeing him in a different light. Because I, growing up, always thought Suge Knight was this kind of like crazy guy from California who was just a gangster and all that. And I still think he's in prison right now for, I think, shooting someone or something. Like he's not like this innocent wallflower. But thinking of the way that he was, the juxtaposition between him and Diddy at the time was like, Diddy is this mogul who's smart. He's interested in the culture for the people. Suge Knight is this gangster who doesn't care about anybody and all that. He just wants money and he's just negative, da da da.
Him and Diddy are a lot alike in many ways.
I think they're both a lot alike and different. Like, I think that Suge Knight is 100% a violent person. 100%. Now, violent in the way
Diddy is also
Diddy is 100%. I don't know. We don't know.
Sorry, allegedly.
I don't think we've ever, from my recollection, I don't think there's anything ever come out about Suge Knight where he was like being abusive sexually or anything with people. It's always been
it's just been abusive to
violent.
Just violence.
Just violent.
Just not abusive sexually, just abusive.
You piss me off,
physically.
So I'm punching you in the
just
face.
Holding Vanilla Ice like over a balcony.
Things like that. But it's
things like that.
Intimidation.
He's a big ass dude.
He is. He's huge. And I think that it was very interesting to see how they had a very different, the way that it was portrayed. But I also wonder how much of that is just because 50 Cent is like friends with Dr. Dre. So he would want to paint Suge Knight in a better light, Well,
I mean, but Suge Knight screwed Dr. Dre.
Yeah, he did. But I think if honestly,
I don't know if this was the platform to
try a
to redeem Suge Knight.
But I think in some people's eyes, like, I feel like I definitely not looking at him better. I think that he deserves to be where he is because he's, he has what he's got going on.
He's a menace in and of himself.
But I think that it just was a different thing. But one thing I'm curious about, and I think I said this to you, 50 Cent did this whole documentary.
Mm-hmm.
But 50 Cent is not like squeaky clean.
No, he's not altruistic or anything like that.
He's not. And I wonder,
he's petty.
He's did it because he's being petty. Like if Diddy had never said or done these things that he has said that he said or did to him, we would never have had this. So to even like, is it for the greater good? Maybe. But is it more so you just trying to, again, like enact some sort of justice on the man that you just don't like?
And it could be both.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I think of it like
they're not mutually exclusive.
Like the person who reached out or, that made the statement about Audrey O'Day, you saw her getting assaulted and you didn't do anything about it. You only are doing this thing about it to kind of add your name to this huge lawsuit so you could say you were there, but you didn't actually really care. And not only did you not care,
I don't necessarily want to speculate on the.
I mean, I feel like they didn't really care. I feel like they wanted to get Diddy out of here because they don't like him. Perhaps because he did something to them. Who knows? But I wonder, it's like when she said in the documentary, like, what is this? What is the purpose of this? What is you saying this about something that happened to me and you shining this light on something that I no recollection of happening? Like, how is that helpful to me? Because now I have to rethink my whole life, right? Mm-hmm. So with Diddy putting this all out and bringing up all these people's trauma yet again, on one hand, it is going to give people a different view of Diddy. But on the other hand, it's just because you want to embarrass him. It's not so much that you're going to get, are you getting trauma services for these people? Like, are you helping them out?
I mean, to be fair, they did have that disclaimer at the very end where
they kept saying it.
or they kept saying it at the end of each episode, like, hey, if you've ever been essayed or if you've ever gone through.
I feel like that's more.
And I also I want to pull it up now, but like the website I thought was kind of.
There's a website?
Yeah, there's a website that they said like, hey, if you've ever been gone through something. I feel like the website was kind of ridiculous.
What was the website?
It was like tell somebody, girl, or something like that. Like it, like I have to get up, I have to get the remote.
Hold on, let me look. Tell somebody today.
Was that it? I don't think it was tell somebody today.
I know that tell somebody today has been something I've been seeing on social media where people who have been assaulted have been talking about sharing their stories.
It was like talk about it now or something like that. Like it was. I have to find it. I have to go through the episode, fast forward all the way to the end, and then, in fact, I'll do that now. You talk.
We'll find it because I don't remember.
I'll find it.
It's like as much as it's good for people to know, like this is something that was happening. Not.
Sorry.
Are you gonna be? Sorry. Where they can talk about what happened to them, not having what they said be twisted and all that by a jury or whatever. But it's like, I don't know, I just feel, is this actually going to change anything? Like, no.
I mean, he's already in jail.
He is in jail.
So
also, like,
if anything, this will, much like with the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, I think that this will shift the perception of a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, maybe a lot of people just weren't aware of, like, all this stuff. Want to talk about it? That's what it is. Want to talk about it? Something about that website name feels insincere.
Is it we want to talk about it? No, that's a podcast.
Want to talk about it? It's literally wanna. WANA.
Oh, it's a Netflix resource.
Talk about it.
Let me share it. It's a Netflix resource, which is already kind of hinky. But it says mental health and well-being. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health and well-being, there's help. You're not alone. Below, you can find information on how to get help. So, I mean, it has. I wonder if they put this on here because they have so many shows
that it just leads to fucking Peaky Blinders. Like, if hey, do you want to talk about your problems with the war? Go to Peaky Blinders. Do you want to talk about your closeted gayness? Go to Stranger Things. You know, like
it's I don't know, it's a lot. I mean, great that they're trying to give people resources, but I also think of like you're not really actually being as altruistic, you know, as you think you are. But
my question to you would be, does it have to be?
No, it doesn't. If it helps people, it doesn't have to be altruistic. It doesn't have to be. And I just wonder, like, how much of this was done for 50 Cent to just have a one-up on Diddy, and how much of it was done to actually help the people that Diddy harmed. You know, I think that's the part. Like, I hope that he's getting them help. And whatever money or whatever he makes from this, that he could put towards them, put towards some sort of organization that helps people not want to talk about it. But helps people through these sort of situations so that you could actually do something useful outside of just dragging these people's trauma through the media, because everyone that was talking, you know, they shared how this has just impacted their lives in a really terrible way. And there's so many people we don't know. Usher wasn't in the documentary, but
his video was in the documentary.
It was.
His very first music video where he was just singing on top of a Crips car. Justin Bieber was in it briefly.
Mm-hmm. We're not going to get anything from him. Unfortunately, Tupac's mother and Biggie's mother both passed.
Well, yeah, they're both passed. So.
I did see something that in the documentary it was alleged that Diddy basically paid for Biggie's funeral using Biggie's like royalties or whatever.
I read somewhere that was disproven.
They said that his Biggie's estate put out a note saying that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean,
the thought though is still pretty fucked up. Like the idea, because even if it didn't go through, even if it didn't go to fruition, that Biggie Smalls paid for his own massive mega shutdown New York funeral, or it came out of Biggie's like budget or what have you, it's still really fucked up. The idea that Diddy was like, yo, hey, I wanna shut down New York in celebration of the life of Biggie Smalls. Oh, but wait, all these expenses, this is how much it's gonna cost? Well, we're gonna make him pay for it, or something like that. Like it, even that thought is devastating to like the notion of who Diddy is.
Well, I think a big nail in Diddy's kind of stardom coffin is not so much how like all these abuses, because I think those have been obviously talked about so much, but the revelation that Diddy and Biggie weren't actually really friends, which is something I feel like I've heard rumblings about. People have always speculated that Biggie might have been killed by Diddy, because they've talked about how, throughout history, artists who are really popular are more profitable after they die. Mm-hmm. So people have always said like, oh, I wonder if he had like the conspiracy theories of, I wonder if he had a hand in his death. And I think the documentary kind of showing how Diddy was so jealous of Biggie. He was so jealous of Tupac and really anybody that would take away from his stardom, because he was not someone who was naturally charismatic, naturally getting people to be interested in him and all that he would use his power to get people taken off. So that like even so much of like him forcing his way onto the Vibe? Oh no, Rolling Stone cover. Him forcing Biggie to stay in LA when Biggie was like, I want to leave.
That was crazy. They had scheduled a whole press tour in London, and then he was like, and Diddy was like to Biggie, he was like, no, we're gonna go to California.
And so it's like they were there.
The most dangerous place for us East Coast people. We're gonna go to California.
We go there.
It's after Tupac has already died.
You know that Biggie is like kind of nervous about being there because everyone's been like, you can't be here, like, and you just force him to stay. And even if he didn't have any hand in it, you know that it's a possibility, right? How he seems to have just had his hands in so many people's injuries or deaths throughout these years, and the way that he just like, we know all the things about him stealing his artist money. That's something that was very well known.
That's an open secret,
but it still is fucked up when
like we used to joke about how like anybody who got signed was like, don't go to Bad Boy, you know what I mean? Like that was the biggest secret. And like we knew record labels were okay. We knew record labels were shiesty, but like
it just
by and large, we joked about Bad Boy being the worst of them all.
Yeah, and it just kind of shows like, there was a lot of shit going on in the behind the scenes. Nobody knew, and this was basically the outcome, that Diddy was just the puppeteer for all of these shenanigans, whether it was stealing people's money, getting them blacklisted, getting them murdered. Like it's just insane. And the part about I feel like I wish I could watch the piece about his son Justin Combs being there around in the freak offs, and any of his sons being there. It's just like, oh gosh, the way that the man that got shot in the bathroom, and
Yeah, that one.
it's like his
That
son's also involved, and it's like not only I feel like this is a generational it's like a generational trauma that will not end, because whatever his mother forced him to be a part of, he's forcing his children to be a part of. And it's just like, you could do all this shit on your own, but now you have created a space where I think one, if not both of his sons have had allegations put up against them in civil suits in related to different types of assaults and things like that. And it's like, just because these terrible things happen to you, you should not bring your kids into them regardless. Like, you should want them to be better and try to help them not live the life that you lived. But I would like there to be a reckoning too. I want Usher to be involved, Mary J. Blige,
Justin
Bentley,
Bieber,
Faith Evans, Little Kim. Because I remember when Little Kim, when she had gotten locked up for that shooting charge at the club, or was that the club, or was that Foxy Brown? But she was arrested she was arrested for was it insider trading or something like that?
Shine. I want Shine to be a part of.
I remember her saying that Diddy never came to visit her. I hope she doesn't come to visit him, but like sends him some sort of like sorry about your troubles while he's in there, because he used all these people.
Maybe I'm sorry, not sorry.
He used all these people and never like was held accountable, and now he is. He's an old man who, just like R. Kelly's always going to have fans, so is Diddy. Those jurors, you had the older Indian man who never had heard anything about Diddy, but also you could just tell from that generation, when you talk to them about trauma and abuse and all that,
he had no idea. Like his whole thing was just like, yeah, I mean, like it sounds like they were just lovers, like
it's a modern love story.
He
wasn't that nice to her, but she kept coming back. So.
I can't wrap my mind around how, if you're mean to somebody, how they could come back to you.
I think that on a jury that you should be forced to have someone who is informed when it comes to trauma. So like a therapist, psychiatrist, a social worker or somebody who can talk about why somebody would be in an abusive relationship, stay and come back, etc.
It's like the most recent episode of Abbott Elementary. Like just having if you're gonna be on a jury with a bunch of old heads, having somebody from our generation or a younger generation to be able to talk not down, but talk to the older generation and explain different things, like different concepts, like, trauma and generational trauma.
But
and
also, it doesn't even matter your age, though, because the other juror who kept saying, like, oh, I didn't really listen to him, but I liked all the artists he had. And she was like, whenever they kept talking about he was tampering, but like, when he was looking at us and he was smiling, I just recognized that smile off of Making the Band. So I just knew he was just probably just what he was thinking in his head. And I'm like, I don't know. And there's also speculation. People are saying that they found pictures of her with Diddy like years ago. I looked at the picture. I personally can't really tell anyway, like whether it was her or not, because it doesn't really look like her.
I don't think it was her.
But I just feel like there's nobody in our generation, especially a Black person growing up in that time, who's going to tell me that they did not care about what Diddy was doing. They didn't like his music because it was literally force fed us. I remember being 5 years old, standing in my driveway singing, I love it when you call me Big Papa. Like, that was my favorite song. Not one of my first few albums, but like once I became a teenager and started getting music for myself, one of my first album purchases was the Diddy Presents Bad Boy for Life album, the one that has like, we ain't going nowhere, we ain't
going nowhere. We can't be stopped now because it's Bad Boy for Life. I had that album. I bought that album. And it's also turns out not true. He's going to jail.
He's in jail.
He is going somewhere. And it is booking.
But it was a crazy documentary. I would love to hear from y'all. What things did you like? Did you not like? What do you want to know more about? Because it was a whirlwind. It was a whirlwind of information. A lot of it you might have had some information about, but others it kind of was new. And I just want really for him to stay in jail for the rest of his life. He should not come out. I'm scared for everyone who talked about anything in this documentary, anyone who put anything in this court case. I think they need protection for the rest of their lives.
Okay, so because of this, I did want to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what you know about Diddy, will you be listening to his music?
You mean his songs or the songs his artist made?
That's a good question. Isn't that the question?
I think that like if it's a song his artist made, I feel differently about it than if it's his. But I also didn't
because he was all up in the videos. He was all up in the songs, dancing in the videos. He was all up in the songs. Like
he deserves to go to hell just for the simple fact that
he ingratiated his DNA.
He ingratiated himself.
Of really good Diddy songs.
But also, like if I die and you come out fucking Diddy bopping, all white, like take that at my memorial like service, I'm gonna have a problem. I'm gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. I'm going to do it because it's enough. It's enough at that point.
That's hilarious.
Not only did you murder me, but you're also dancing on my grave, literally. Well. Please let us know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you think it was silly? Did you want to see another part 2? Because I do. I want to see more. I need more information. I really feel like it was rushed at the end. I feel like they could have added more and there was more questions. And we should have had more from like day 26. Because I know that they have a very interesting story that I would like to hear. Put the Snyder cut out.
The Snyder
Put out
cut.
The Snyder cut.
Diddy reckoning. Oh boy. Okay. So Sean Combs, The Reckoning. How would you rate it?
Out of what?
10.
I will give it 8 snurds.
8 snurds for me too.
Because I think there's some things that are missing. But overall, good docuseries.
Yeah, a very good, informative docuseries. Like, a lot of times Netflix will slapdash docuseries together and it feels rushed, but like the majority of it
was pretty good.
Pretty good and informative. So yeah.
And I hope that anyone who is dealing with any form of abuse gets the help they need.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to someone. There's so many places you can go.
You can go to Wanna Talk About It.
Yes, you can. But there's other ones. Find your local place. Talk to someone, get help, because you don't have to live through this trauma by yourself.
Correct.
All right. So that's it for this episode. Do you want to quickly say some things that made you happy this week so we can end on a lighter note?
Sure. Yes.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
All right. What's making you happy this week?
What's making me happy this week is the friends that reach out to me. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all leaving voice notes and calling and just seeing how I'm doing. It makes me feel good all the way down to my tum-tum.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out for you for doing this podcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very consistent. And shout out to Bob's Burgers. It's a good show.
It is a good show.
It's a very good, comforting show. Like I like to go back and watch like shows from the beginning and then just binge them. I've been going back and watching Bob's Burgers like back and forth, like again and again and again. Like it's comfort food for me.
It is. It's a good show.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
What about you? What's making you happy?
Number one, doing this podcast with you, per usual. I love that we get to do this. It's fun. I enjoy it. Getting to spend time with you in general. Also, got my hair done, so that's making me very happy. What else? Oh, congratulations to my little sister for graduating from her community college this weekend. She is off to finishing her degree. So 1 down, 2 more to go. Very proud of you. And yeah, I think that just the, general people in my life who are there, supportive, community, I always appreciate. And, just shout out to all of you because y'all are the goats. So that's it. Also, I just wanted to quickly say that I would like to say continue to rest in peace to my auntie Meg. Her the day she passed was December 6th, which is always a difficult time, but I love to just have her, remember her for who she was, the amazing person she was, and all the things she did. So even though it's a sad time, it's also happy because just getting the chance to remember who she was and all the light she brought to our lives. So
yeah,
that's it.
All right. Well, if that's everything, then we will see you soon. Take it easy, keep it sleazy. Do all of the things like share, rate, subscribe, share this with friends,
comment, email us,
and we'll be back next week for more of this. Until then, take it easy. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD.E, and on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.